Gonna be the very beginning of the episode. Hey everyone, this is the Vita Cast, episode 122. I'm your host Tyler Oltoff, joined alongside Kyle Wakeling. What's up, Kyle?
Lots, Tyler. there's
Lots.
always there's always lots going on. Like I sometimes I say nothing, but by nothing I mean just the usual mountain of shit.
Oh,
So yeah.
very nice.
What's up with you?
um, Nothing. No, there's lots. I've been playing a ton of games though, so that's good.
That is good
Uh,
because I have not.
oh boy. Well, I've been playing a bunch of games. I've been working a lot, and I fell asleep today, and now I'm awake at 11 at night, and I work at like 4 in the morning. So whatever.
That, that's okay. It's 2:20 in the morning here, Tyler. So
That makes a big difference for me. I'm guessing it's like 7:30 in the morning in Europe right now.
yep, something like that.
Math, time zones, all that fun
Time to
stuff.
get up.
Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about the games we played. I guess you can go first since you said you haven't played very much, and I can uh, tell everyone all the stuff I've been playing after.
All right, sounds good. So I've played a grand total of three things this week. I
Ooh.
played about an hour and a half or so of Ollie Ollie 2 on the weekend because I just kind of wanted to get away from all the things that I have to do, and I was like, well, this is something I don't have to do. So I played a bunch of that and got a few challenges done that I hadn't had done before, so yay. Also played Odin Sphere Leaf this year, but not as much as I hoped to. I thought I was at the end of the one chapter, but apparently I wasn't, and there was this huge ass epilogue. So I went through all that and then started the next one. So I'm not very much farther, but I played it and I enjoyed what I played. So there you go. And I played Hot Shots Golf because I don't know why, but I was craving it the other day, and I was just like in the middle of like doing something that was important, and just started playing. So that was interesting. Oh, actually, I did play one more thing. I played the world's longest 5 minutes Japanese demo, and I didn't get very far, but apparently I passed like the first level or something because I got one of those screens that comes up and gives you your stats and says, "Do you want to continue?" kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I have no idea how I got there because I just like it was just a wall of Japanese text, and I just kept like trying to interact with people, and then it just worked. So yeah, I don't know what the hell, but the game looks good. And if it was in English, I'd probably play it because it reminded me so much of playing Pokemon, even though it's nothing like that. Just like that whole walking around in like a world that's like very 2D flat, not a lot of textures, that kind of thing. In one of those RPG settings, I was like, what the hell? So it was a lot of laughs, even though I had no idea what was going on. But yeah, so that's what I played.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
not bad. I mean, technically, I think you played more than me, but I played a lot of what I played.
Yeah, I think in time you definitely beat me because overall I probably put like 3 hours into gaming.
All right, yeah, I beat you on that by like double on
Yeah.
just one game. All right, so I'll save the game that I played a lot of to the last part. So I played a little bit more of Severed. Still need to play a lot of that. The game is a lot of fun, but I'm just distracted with other games right now. Um, but yeah, I played a little bit of that, and then I also jumped into Lego Star Wars. It's a pretty fun game. It's Lego, and it's Star Wars. So I mean, sold, right? Haven't played too much of that, um, but it's definitely reminding me a lot of like how the Jurassic Park game felt, and I really loved the Jurassic Park game. Pretty sure I reviewed that one. Did I review that one? I want to say I
I
did.
believe you did.
Yeah,
I believe you did.
yeah. I got the platinum on that one. That I mean, that's not saying much because it's a Lego game, but still, they're fun platinums to achieve. So I'll probably do the same thing for Star Wars. Um, but yeah, play a little bit of that, and then the game that I played a ton of um, would be God Eater Resurrection. I've already put in like 8.5 hours into that game, and I've only had it for maybe 3 days, which I mean it's not too bad, but considering how I haven't had time to play games very much, this is like a ton of gaming for me now, and I am really enjoying it. It made me want to jump back and play a little bit of Freedom Wars because God Eater does use like the gun sword mechanic where you can you use a sword and then you can switch to a gun really quick and shoot from a distance and stuff like that. But I feel like Freedom Wars definitely does a better job at it. I do love this game or God Eater, but I still feel like Freedom Wars is better when it comes to that. But yeah, I've played a lot of it. I've been pushing through the storyline. I haven't really done too many side quests because it's just the same thing as a regular story mission. It's just you don't really get anything other than uh, resources and stuff like that. So if you're wanting to upgrade your stuff, then I guess it's a good idea to do those side missions, which I do occasionally when I see that I need an item and that mission has it. But yeah, really enjoying it, and I think I'm on chapter 3, maybe, probably, yeah, or the difficulty level 3. I don't know how they organize their chapters, but anyways, I'm on 3. So yeah, really enjoying it. I haven't played any multiplayer, which I've been wanting to try that out. So maybe one of these days you'll see me online and I'll be bugging people to play. So look out for that. So yeah, that's all I played, Kyle.
Well, if you'd have put the amount of time that you put into God Eater into Severed, you'd have the platinum by now.
Well, damn it.
I just gotta say that. So, like, I mean, it's not a super long game, but it's a super good game, and you should just like pick a day and just hammer it out and just get it done.
Yeah, I need to. I need to. I'm debating whether or not I even want to bring my Vita to Vegas when I leave, and I don't think I'm going to because I don't know if I'd actually play it, and I don't want to be that guy that loses his Vita. So
There's your Vita in Vegas. That would be. I can't think of a V word. That's horrible.
yeah, it would be pretty terrible. So
Yeah.
I want to, but at the same time, it's like I'm going on vacation, so like I really shouldn't bring it because I'm supposed to be going, and
Just
enjoying
buy
myself.
another one and take that one.
Yeah, I mean, I have a Vita I could bring as a backup, but I mean, if I lost my memory card, then ooh, that'd be terrible. But
Pack
anyways,
it up.
I need to. I really need to. All right, let's get into the reviews we got from this week. We've got quite a bit, so let's start it off with Steamworld Heist. This was reviewed by Timmy. He gave it a 4.8 out of 5 and says, quote, Steamworld Heist is one of the most memorable experiences I've had on the Vita to date. It is a perfectly portable tactical turn-based adventure which will see you return yet again and again to nab just one more hat or give that particularly tough challenge mission another go. It is a shining example of what makes handheld gaming great, end quote. So there is some very high praise for this game by Timmy. So you should definitely check out the full review and see for yourself. I haven't played this one myself, so I don't really have an opinion on it. It definitely looks like a game that could be pretty fun. What about you, Kyle?
Yeah, I haven't played this one, and I haven't played SteamWorld Dig either, so I have no idea. Just watching the trailers and stuff as I've been putting together these videos and putting up news, it doesn't seem like it'd be for me. It just seems a little slow for my taste, but I don't know. Maybe that's just the way the trailer is portraying it.
Yeah. Well, definitely read the full review, people, and let us know what you think. All right, Kyle, what
Yeah.
are we getting next?
All right. Next review for the week is Bard's Gold, which was reviewed by Reese. He gave it a 3.8 out of 5, and he said, quote, Bard's Gold is a frustrating and rewarding experience rolled into one mostly well-executed package. Clever design choices and tight controls make up any of the less polished features present, and this rogue-like is definitely worth a play, end quote. So, seems like decent praise, but it has flaws, so if you're thinking about getting it and that kind of game is up your alley, read that review. I have no idea about it. I haven't played it. What about you, Tyler?
I have a review code for it, but I haven't downloaded it.
Good job, Tyler. Keeping up
Yeah,
with those times.
that's right. I do what I can. I might download it, or I might just give it away. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Anyways, yeah, read the full review, people, for more on that one there. I think I'm gonna make you read this next one, Kyle, because you have a review in here yourself, and I'm gonna read your review, and then you're gonna talk about it. Deal? Deal.
Tyler.
Hey.
All right. The next review up is Atelier Sophie, The Alchemist of the Mysterious Book. It was reviewed by Jenny, and she gave it a 3.6 out of 5, saying, quote, "An Atelier game without a tight deadline is an odd thing indeed. While many will love the more relaxed pace, I can't help but feel that it now means you're much more likely to notice the unfortunately lackluster battle system. Thankfully, the game has some really great characters and a fun revamped alchemy system, which helps to make up for this. Atelier Sophie feels right at home on the PlayStation Vita, and, battle system aside, is a great addition to the PS Vita's RPG library." End quote. So, seems like quite a bit of praise, although it's taken a step back for her with regard to the battle system, so that's kind of shitty. Um, but as she said, maybe it's due to how they've kind of pulled back that time deadline system that they used with the previous titles. So, yeah, I guess this is a case of a flaw exposing another flaw, and hopefully the next one will be better. But 3.6 isn't bad, so read the review because I have no idea. What about you, Tyler?
Yeah, read the review, because I have no
There you
idea.
go.
I've played so many Atelier games that I've lost track.
I have not played a single one.
Yeah, and I've never beaten one. I've only played maybe 3 hours of each one that I've played.
Ouch. That's not high praise.
No, yeah, they're not really for me. Like, they're not terrible, but it's just I hate games that have like deadlines or like timelines where if you don't do something in a certain amount of time, you have a bad ending or something like that. Because I like to just freely do whatever the hell I want. But
I hear you.
you literally like you'll go to a place. This is just based off the last one I played, so I could be wrong with all the new ones that have come out. But um, like you'll go out into the world and you'll like harvest something from like the ground, and it will like cut your day away. Like you'll lose half your day just because you picked a flippin' weed out of the ground. And it's like, really? That took half my day? So yeah, I mean it's not for me. Not I don't like these type of games. But hey, if you do, more power to you. All right, next up, we've got a game reviewed by our own Kyle. It's Dead or Alive Xtreme 3 Venus, and he gave it a 3.9 out of 5, and he said, quote, "Limiting but undeniably fun and sexy. Dead or Alive Xtreme 3 Venus is a must-have for PlayStation Vita importers, offering an enjoyable set of minigames and ladies to choose from. Whether you've got 5 minutes or 5 hours, this one's got something to keep your attention, unless your significant other has something to say about it." End quote. Kyle, let us know all about this game.
All right, so I'm going to say right off the bat, this is a game with a time limit kind of thing.
Uh-oh.
So you would hate this because it runs such that during the day you can do outdoor activities such as tug of war, butt battle, rock climbing, beach volleyball, just relaxing, all the good stuff. But you can only do 3 of those things a day, and then it becomes nighttime, and you're on a vacation, quote unquote, with these girls for 14 days. So as it runs through the day, you get 3 chances to do whatever you want, and then it becomes night, and you have to go through all these like menus and stuff. So that part I did find a little bit of a pain in the ass because sometimes the guy just wants to play beach volleyball and he can't do that because it's like, oh, it's nighttime. You have to like go through these menus to get back to the daytime, and then you can maybe play if you know you have a partner still. So it's kind of a screwed up situation in that regard. But as far as the games themselves and the way it's presented, it's pretty fun. I found myself picking it up a lot, especially at the start when I had just gotten it. Just to, play a few modes between, writing a story or watching anime or whatever. And even though that kind of wore off because I had so much of it to play to try and unlock some of the things and figure out what the hell the game was actually about, it still kind of feels that way now. Now that I've kind of got away from it and the review is out, I do go back to it and play some of the mini games. So it's definitely addictive, and it's definitely something that you can lose time in, whether it's, going through a whole vacation at one time or just a couple minutes while you're waiting for something. And the only real problems I had with it were that time schedule thing. And I didn't like the roulette game, which is one of the night games. The night games are casino stuff, and you can actually play them as much as you want, which is kind of, as far as I'm concerned, backwards, because you would want to play the good games where the girls are involved and you can see them moving around, over and over, and not these casino games where you're looking at cards and tables. But that's just me. Anyway, so you can play those games at night, and roulette was kind of lackluster because it's lackluster in real life. And the way that they've kind of got some of the things locked away at higher levels, like I think it's Pictorial Paradise and Event Paradise. They're like owner modes that are media related, so they aren't really like gameplay modes. They're like, here you can look at this woman in a special way, kind of thing. And they're locked behind like level 30 and level 50, which I played for like 2 months straight almost, and I only got to level 30. So it's going to take a long time to get to level 50, and it's kind of a shame that they're locked that far behind things. So the way that they put things together, not so great. The game itself, pretty good. I'd recommend it. There you go.
Bam.
I think I've talked enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So now you get to talk some more because that's another review.
Yeah, you can read this one.
I don't know. You got it, Kyle. Fine, I'll read it.
You're trying to get me to like, no, I'll do it. Where are you? I know your tricks.
All right. Next up is Delta Strike First Assault. This is reviewed by Dennis. He gave it a 2.3 out of 5 and says, quote, Delta Strike First Assault is an average combat flight simulator game that will appeal to fans of the genre. The game's level progression will keep trophy hunters busy for hours. Gameplay doesn't feel that fun when compared to other games in the genre, and not having any control customization can make the game feel inaccessible to newcomers of the genre. End quote. So yeah, so not looking too hot for that game. I mean, yeah, not looking hot at all.
Yep. At least it's cheap. I think it's cheap, so there you go.
Yeah, at least it's cheap. All right, so there you go. Those are all the reviews from this week. Be sure to check the site and read up on all the reviews, and there you go. You can figure out what games you need to pick up next. And speaking of games we need to pick up next, we've got the new releases to go over, and here is the North American releases. We've got Adventures of Mana for $13.99, God Eater Resurrection for $19.99, Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens for $29.99, Zero Escape 3 Zero Time Dilemma for $39.99, and Lumo for $19.99. Kyle, what is Europe getting?
Europe is getting Adventures of Mana for £11.49, €13.99, or 20.95 Australian dollars. Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens for £34.99, or €39.99. Zero Time Dilemma for £32.99, €39.99, or 59.95 Australian dollars. Lumo for £14.99, €17.99, or 26.95 Australian dollars. And Solitaire Collection 4-in-1, not available in Bahrain, Kuwait, Lebanon, Oman, Qatar, Saudi, and the United Arab Emirates. It releases, it looks like, as of this day that the podcast goes out, but we still don't have a price, so that's what you get.
All right. So do we have PlayStation Plus titles to go over?
We do. So PlayStation Plus titles have rolled over for the month, and you can now pick up Areshika Tainted Bloodlines and Prince of Persia Revelations, which is a PSP game, for free if you have a PlayStation Plus account and a Vita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Areshika's pretty good. Get it.
I haven't played it yet, but I bought it not long ago, and now I'm sad.
Sad Kyle indeed.
Yep.
Alright, well, people, if you haven't bought it, get it for free. And don't be sad, like Kyle. All right, let's get into the news to read from this week. We've got a little bit here to go over, so let's jump right into it. The latest issue of Weekly Famitsu has revealed that Anju, the princess, will join oh man. Alright, Utawarumano, the two Hokaros, as a playable character. Anju has already appeared in the previous game in the series, though this time she'll be featuring in battle. Anju will be voiced by a lady, and the character is said to be a power fighter. There is also a little bit of information about the new co-op special moves. These special moves can only be utilized with specific characters after progressing through the story and meeting other as yet unknown requirements. Utawarumano, the two Hikaros, is due to release in Japan on September 21st for the PS4, PS3, and Vita. Idea Factory International has revealed some grave news for Australian gamers. MiQ Labyrinth of Death won't be coming after all. The Australian Government Classification Board has struck again, this time striking down the classification of the upcoming Idea Factory International localized dungeon crawler. As with all of these censorship type issues, which we consider this to be, uh, we would like to give you We'd like to give it to you straight and clear. So here's the official word from IFI. Quote, "Hello everyone. Unfortunately, the Australian Government Classification Board has chosen not to rate our upcoming PS Vita title, MiQ Labyrinth of Death, due to an interactive touch system on the character menu. As a result, MiQ Labyrinth of Death will not release for this region. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience this may cause Australian fans. MiQ Labyrinth of Death will still come to North America and Europe for the Vita in this fall 2016. We thank you for your continued support and understanding. The Idea Factory International Team." End quote. As stated in the quoted text, MiQ Labyrinth of Death is still set to release in the West, however likely due to our ratings boards not being as strict. Next up, Midboss has announced a release date for the Vita version of Mystery adventure title 2064 Read-Only Memories. But first, let's recap just what ROM is all about. Players will find themselves in Neo San Francisco, nearly half a century into a future and right smack in the middle of a mystery. Someone has kidnapped the creator of your adorable robot friend Turing, and the only way you can find out what happened is to investigate. Featuring 29 people in its voiceover bits, largely rewritten dialogue, revamped puzzles, new character animations, and profile boxes, 2064 Read-Only Memories is coming to Vita cross-buy with PS4 on August 16th. It'll be priced at $19.99 in North America and will sport a 10% discount at launch.
Alright, kicking on. The latest entry into the One Piece gaming library released recently. 2 strong reviews, with Charlie commenting that it's, quote, "a good fighting game that will appeal to fans of the anime while still being simple enough for newcomers to pick up and play," end quote. Now, Bandai Namco have announced they'll be introducing 3 new playable characters into the mix, and better still, they will be added as free DLC. But the developer want the players to decide who will join the fray, with the choices being Arlong, Caesar Clown, Cavendish, Kobe, Diamante, Don Krieg, Kaku, Kuro, Magellan, Monkey D. Carp, Nefeltiri Vivi, Rebecca, Rob Lucci, Senor Pink, Tashigi, Treble, and Virgo. The top 3 most voted for characters will be added as DLC within the next few months. To have your say, visit the newly launched website where voting has begun. There's a link in the post on our site if you need it. Thanks to the newly opened Japanese Berserk website, we're now getting some details on the game beyond when it's coming and what it looks like. First up in the new information rundown is the premise for Action Bits, which we'd heard featured some Musu 1 vs 1000 style action gameplay, covered with a nice Berserk skin. It goes beyond that, however, as the game also includes bits from the story's Golden Age arc all the way up to the end of the Millennium Falcom arc. It details how the protagonist Guts starts his journey all the way up to where he gets his comrades in arms. Basically, Berserk puts the world of the manga in the palm of your hands with PlayStation Vita, sharing intense scenes reproduced via anime movie and 3D models. Who doesn't want that? Good news for those already familiar with the series' movie have been revealed, as the bulk of the main characters included in the game will be retaining the voice actors from the movie and upcoming anime, which just started. Also, interactions between the members of the Band of Hawk that weren't included in the movie will be included in the mix, giving those who know the story something new to look out for. Berserk is due out in Japan September 21st and will hit the West at an as of yet unannounced date. First print copies of the game are set to include a wet outfit for Casca in Japan, so if that's the copy you're aiming for, buy early. Compile Heart has updated the website for Divine Prison Tower Mary Skelter, this time with some more information on the living prison and also the theme song of the game. If you've read any of our previous updates, then you'll have heard us mention the living prison known as Jail. Jail is a strange and mysterious life form that suddenly appeared one day. It sprouted from the ground and also created a giant prison 666 meters below ground. Jail is surrounded by deep cliffs that make breaking out of it impossible. For the people trapped within there, only hope is to one day break free. The prison is divided into several very different looking areas, including graveyards and areas that are reminiscent of Alice in Wonderland. Within each area there will said to be things called cores. It is not yet known what these cores are for. Also, if you're interested, the game's theme song has been revealed as Arakajime Ushina Wareta Bokura no Ballad by Earphones. It's available for a listen on the site. Divine Prison Tower Mary Skelter is set to release October 13th in Japan with no news yet on Western localization. Someone please pick this up and train.
Oh man. Alright, next up. The character introductions are coming thick and fast now for Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana, with the latest being details regarding Griselda and Austin. Griselda is one of the Roman Empire's nobility. In fact, if you've played Ys Memories of Celceta, then you may remember her as the Governor General of Celceta. Spoilers, jeez. 3 years ago, she gave Adol the task of surveying the dangerous land of Celceta. She was still governing Celceta when Adol left, so it's not yet known why and how she got to the Isle of Serene. Austin is a young nobleman from Glia. He adores art, everything from paintings to playwriting and sculptures. He's a bit narcissistic and seems to believe that he is special and different to other people. In fact, he gallantly dashes to the rescue when Adol and his party get surrounded by Beast. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't go quite as he imagined. Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana is due out in Japan on July 21st. Broccoli has announced a release date for the enhanced port of the PlayStation Portable title Uta no Prince Sama Repeat. Announced as making the leap to PlayStation Vita back in January, it now seems that the fruits of the title's porting project have started to ripen. The first game in the Uta no Prince Sama series finally coming up for an information breather. The Otome visual novel with a bit of a music twist, Uta no Prince Sama Repeat, has now been dated and will be heading to Japan shortly after the next year. The title is coming to the PlayStation Vita with 49 new fully voiced episodes, 21 new event illustrations with touch to activate voices, new facial expression animations, new combo voices, 2 new playable characters, and enhanced system features. Uta no Sama Repeat is due out on the PlayStation Vita January 27th, 2017 in Japan. Carrying on with the royal news, a brand new Uta no Prince Sama title was revealed in celebration of its 6th anniversary on Friday. Uta no Prince Sama Dulce Vita is coming to PlayStation Vita as a brand new title, one not included in the enhanced port series that Broccoli is doing, the one that starts with the recently dated Uta no Prince Sama Repeat. The game will feature a completely fresh story about 11 idols at the Shining Agency, and it's headed to Japan sometime in the future. More information on Dulce Vita will be revealed at a later date, so make sure to keep an eye out if you're interested. Awkward silence. Awkward silence. I said, awkward silence, because the call got dropped. Awkward silence, because the call got dropped. because the car was dropped. Do-do-do-do-do-do. The
What the fuck
car
happened there?
was dropped. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Well, don't worry about it. I finished my news piece, and it's your turn to start reading at yummy, 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 yummy tummy.
What?
I finished my news.
Okay.
Now it's your turn to start at yummy, yummy tummy.
Okay. Yummy Yummy Tummy has been working with MintSphere to create Fallen Legion, a dark fantasy action RPG with hand-drawn 2D artwork and an intense battle system. The game is set in the kingdom of Phenumia, a once glorious kingdom which is now in decline. At the beginning of the game, Princess Cecile, the protagonist, is leading a battalion when she finds out that the king, her father, has died. From her dear departed father, she receives not just the crown, but also a mysterious grimoire. This dusty-old book has the ability to speak and can also breathe life into legendary weapons, turning the legendary swords of Fulgur into an armored knight. Looking to battles, they play out in real time, and you'll be able to command 4 characters simultaneously. Switching between them at the right time, you can link attacks and finish enemies off with a death blow. You'll also occasionally have tough diplomacy decisions to make. For example, Princess Cecile at one point comes across an undefended village. Does she help or does she ignore them? The choice is yours. Different choices will grant you different buffs, which can be a great help in the battles to come, and will also impact the story. Whatever you decide, you'll need to think fast as you're only given 5 seconds to do so. Fallen Legion is currently in development, and as such is undated. We'll keep bringing you the news though, so stay tuned if you're interested. Ultra Explosive Run and Gunner Best Buds vs. Bad Guys is coming to PlayStation Vita, but needs your help. Father and son duo Richard and Lucas have launched a Kickstarter campaign to try and raise 4,500 British pounds for the base title, 6,500 British pounds needed for a locked-in PlayStation Vita release. Compared to most Kickstarters, this is a bargain. The game has 2 best buds teaming up to tackle the evil creations of Dr. Jushan, a evil genius. You'll travel to 11 different worlds with everything in 16-bit style. The game will have loads of features, including lots of areas to run and gun in, plus loads of secret areas to find and explore. Special power-ups such as tanks, skateboards, minecarts, TNT, giant buds, mini buds, banana napalm, and donuts of death. 2-player local co-op, though it's not mentioned how this will work with Vita. Lots of insanely powerful and silly weapons, including shrink rays, lasers, ice cream blasters, buzzsaw guns, and homing missiles. Plenty of evil bosses and over 100 varied enemies to fight. Replay Plus mode, leaderboards for hardcore and speedrun playthroughs featuring quickest time, least damage taken, and more. If the Kickstarter campaign and stretch goal are successful, then the money will be used to pay for the Vita version, along with some more artwork, a voiceover track, promotion, and marketing. Make sure to check out the Kickstarter campaign or the game's own website for more information. The campaign is due to end July 21st, and at the time of writing, is over a third of the way to hitting that Vita goal. The base goal, I believe, over 45% funded. If I ever saw a worthy cheap Kickstarter to back, it was this one, so get on it. Square Enix has finally released their announced and then slightly delayed RPG demo on the Japanese PSN, and we've got details on how to get it. Clocking in at 831 of your precious memory card megabytes, the newly released Dragon Quest Heroes 2, The Twin Kings and the Prophecy's End Japanese demo allows you to begin your adventure before you buy, playing right up until you reach the town of Zepion. In total, the demo allows you about an hour's worth of content, though you do get to play as either the guy or the girl, so that might be 2 hours depending on your definition. Interested? Well, then you should check out some gameplay from the demo on the Lounge Play channel, as I've put out 2 videos showing it off and explaining it for English players. Dragon Quest Heroes 2, The Twin Kings and the Prophecy's End is already available in Japan and now has a demo for you to try out. If you're interested, hop on over to the account switching tutorial on our forums, located in the help area, or make your way to the Japanese PSN on your own terms. It's worth a try, and it's PlayStation TV compatible.
Yacht Club Games has announced a new campaign coming to Shovel Knight featuring the old adversary Spectre Knight. The blog post goes into the details on some of the Spectre Knight's new moves. First up is the basic slash attack used to carve open the enemies in front of you. Building upon that is the dash slash. This is a jump attack. Whilst in the air, using the slash attack makes you lunge through the air forward a short distance. This move is going to be key for maneuvering through the levels and taking down enemies. Spectre Knight also possesses the ability to wall climb. He can only climb for short distances, though, so be sure to plan out your route thoroughly before committing to the climb. So there are the new moves you can expect to be using in the new campaign, and there are definitely some interesting new ways to navigate the levels with the wall climbing and dashing. No concrete details were given in the blog post as to when we can expect to see the new campaign arrive, though it's hopeful we'll see it sooner rather than later, as the folks from Yacht Club Games leave us this hopeful message. Quote, "It should arrive sooner than the wait between Shovel Knight and Plague Knight." End quote. The blog post also goes into a few details on what else we can expect from the future of Shovel Knight. Spectre Knight is not the only new campaign coming. They're also working on a King Knight campaign simultaneously, though the Spectre Knight campaign will still be releasing first. As well as the new campaigns, there are two new modes being worked on as well, Body Swamp and Battle Mode. The developers plan to launch one of these modes alongside each of the campaigns. Battle Mode is designed as a single-screen multiplayer mode, and as such isn't planned to come to the Vita version of the game. Shovel Knight is out now on PlayStation Vita with more Knight goodness on the way. Koei Tecmo has announced a release date for the next Atelier title in Japan. Are you in? According to Koei Tecmo, it's just over 3 months till you'll be able to lay your hands on the next alchemy-loving RPG with Atelier Sophie, the Alchemist of the Mysterious Journey, now revealed as releasing September 29th in Japan. Huzzah! Now that we've got a Japanese release date, I guess all we need is localization announcements, huh? During a live stream yesterday, Bandai Namco shared the latest trailer information for Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. So without further ado, here's a recap of what was revealed. Pre-orders for the game will be available from today, 28th of June, on the Japanese PlayStation Store. Pre-ordering the game via the PlayStation Store will allow users to play through the opening areas of the full game a week early. Pre-orders will also include the Ancient Equipment Maid costume. A Beck-illustrated Sword Art Online Hollow Realization avatars will be available for free on the Japanese PlayStation Store. The opening theme for the game is Windia by Luna Haruna. A new character called Genesis, who shares the same black swordsman, alas, with Kirito, will appear in Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. The game will support cross-save with the PlayStation 4 version. There is a Sword Art Online magazine that is planned to release in late October. Issue 1 will feature a Sword Art Online Hollow Realization comic. A first print limited edition and standard edition special pack of the game will be made available at Dengiva. The limited edition will cost 11,580 yen, and the special pack will cost 7,800 yen on the PlayStation Vita. The special pack includes a copy of the game, a tin badge, an Beck illustrated A3 tapestry, and an exclusive nightwear costume. A limited time collaboration event for PlayStation 3's Ace Combat Infinity was announced. By meeting certain requirements, you can obtain a Sword Art Online Hollow Realization emblem and nickname. Hollow Realization is set to release in Japan on October 27th and in North America and Europe this fall.
Yeah, my bad on not changing the dates on that one.
Way to go.
I can't do everything. It's been a busy fucking month, man.
It's all good, I understand.
Alright, kicking on. Rising Star Games have announced via their Twitter page that Lumo will release on the PlayStation Vita, well, this week. Rising Star Games on Twitter confirmed, saying, quote, "The wait is almost over. Lumo is coming to PlayStation Vita on July 5th, which has now passed." Lumo is an isometric arcade adventure game of the same ilk as revered 8-bit classics Head Over Heels, Night Lore, Alien, Chimera, and Solstice. You play the part of a young wizard lost in the depths of a mysterious castle that's part museum, part death trap. Explore more than 150 rooms, solve physical puzzles, bring ancient machinery to life, collect runes and spells, and uncover hidden areas as you work your way safely outside. The game is already launched on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, with the Vita release being Lumo's handheld debut. So go pick it up now. Acquire has recently released some new information about the various systems in Akiba's Beat. We have more information on the battle system in the game. You'll be allowed to party up to 4 members with you in battle. You won't, however, be issuing commands to each of the party. Instead, you fight using the attack button in combination with the cursor keys for different combinations. There are only a few different attributes you'll need to keep an eye on during fight. First up are the staple hit points, which when they hit 0, the character can no longer take part in battle, obviously. Skill points are used for skills Physical or magical action points are used for any actions you take. They will, however, recover over time in battle. Lastly, there's the Imagine gauge. This is filled by attacking your enemies, and once filled, you'll be able to trigger Imagine mode, allowing you to attack freely without consuming any AP. Akiba's Butte will also feature a trading card system. After purchasing and equipping a card, you'll be able to utilize the card's 2 title skills. For example, there's a card which has the skill Pure Blooded, which halves SP consumption, and Spirit King, which doubles the effect of recovery magic. There are over 100 cards featured in the game, so there'll be plenty of ways to customize your playstyle with these cards. Finally, we have the Maid system. This system is used both in and out of battles. Whilst in battle, the Maids will tell you about enemies and warn you when allies are in trouble. Outside of battle, they help you with navigating the field and dungeons. Akiba's Beat is set to release in Japan this fall and in the winter for North America. Some new insights out of Experience Inc. have revealed that the PlayStation Vita will continue to be a focal point of their work, with a much welcome sequel now headed to the console. In a Twitter Q&A session with Experience director Motoya Ataka, it was revealed that the development team is planning to focus on PlayStation Vita and Xbox One games, but that's just the opening salvo. The real news came when it was revealed that they are currently in the planning stages for Stranger of Sword City 2. At Horikawa_Otane tweeted at Experience asking the following, quote, "Will you keep working with Tsukamoto Yoko? Her art was the reason I first gave Sword City a try," end quote. To which PR_Experience replied, quote, "We do plan to work together with her for Tsurugi no Machi no Ichujin 2, Stranger of Sword City 2, not official for West," end quote. Well, it's noted that nothing's official for the West. That's certainly not unusual, as we tend to get word of at least a release date for Japan before we get a localization confirmation. That said, we're glad that they're on track to keep supporting us, Vita fans, and we're psyched about the prospect of Stranger of Sword City 2, so we're cool waiting a bit, but just a bit.
The latest Famitsu has revealed 4 characters present in Toukiden 2, with 3 of them being returning faces. We're happy to introduce to you Kazu, who happens to be Tsubuki's dad, a kind man. He is the commissioner of the Slayers and is tasked with overseeing business at headquarters, such as mission acceptance. Returning characters include Kuyo, Soma, and Hatsuho, with Soma and Hatsuho able to be taken into battle. Soma carries a club, while Hatsuho will instead be armed with a chain and sickle-type weapon. Toukiden 2 is slated to release on July 28th in Japan. Unfinished Pixel will be bringing their arcade puzzle game Spy Chameleon RGB Agent to the PlayStation Vita on July 21st. In true Chameleon fashion, players will need to constantly change their skin color to blend in with the environment in order to avoid being spotted. Using the Spy Chameleon stealth skills, you will aim to complete 75 levels set out across 5 different missions, with plenty of challenges and collectibles along the way. Spy Chameleon RGB Agent is Unfinished Pixel's first game, and it is a remake of an Xbox Live community game title called Spy Chameleon that was released by Unfinished Pixel's Marcos Torquelis in 2009. The original release featured the core color switching mechanic, with this remake adding more polish in every possible way. Spy Chameleon RGB Agent will feature new gameplay mechanics, trophy support, and new missions and challenges, making the remake a more complete and a better experience overall. Here's a look at some of the features that Unfinished Pixel tell us you will find in Spy Chameleon RGB Agent. Change color to blend with the environment, 75 challenging levels, the difficulty increases considerably as you learn the mechanics, 3 challenges in each level, pick collectibles and beat time, 5 different enemies, each one with different mechanics, speed, and cone of vision. Challenging gameplay, it's a mix of good reflexes, timing, and strategy. Levels designed and timed to be enjoyable by speedrunners. The PlayStation versions of Spy Chameleon RGB Agent will also feature cross-buy and cross-save, so get it later this month and play it where you need to, or just on Vita. Next up, Dragon's Crown has vanished from the European PlayStation Network, and it seems that licensing is to blame. Recently, Kyle heard, a few people complain that they couldn't find action RPG Dragon's Crown on the European PlayStation Network store. Though being that we've seen that happen many times before in random acts of ghosting, uh, he didn't put much thought to it. Silly him. An exchange between Yan at Maisie X and NIS America in Europe at NIS in Europe via Twitter has filled us in on what really happened this time around. Ian asks, Dragon's Crown is missing from PSN. Do you know anything? NIS in Europe replies, quote, unfortunately, our license expired for this title and we're forced to remove it from the PlayStation Network store. Apologies for any inconvenience. End quote. According to NIS America and Europe's response, the fact that their license to distribute the title is up seems to be the cause of the vanishing title this time around, which means that unless someone else picks up the Dragon's Crown license in Europe, it's likely to remain gone from their PSN for good. Thankfully, however, we've since heard that Atlas will be putting it back up themselves, though we've not heard anything about when. When we do, we'll be sure to let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Publisher Excalibur has announced that Out of Bounds' Funky Laser Disco Defenders will be coming to PlayStation Vitas towards the end of July. Laser Disco Defenders is a very visually unique and quite frankly beautiful looking bullet hell twin stick shooter that pays homage to all the things 70s. Disco music, sci-fi, and psychedelic visual effects all get set up in this fantastic, frantic looking title. Laser Disco Defenders also promises a certain level of player customization, as you will be able to tinker with the look and style of your character before sending them off to the Disco Den. The Den comprises of a series of square rooms located aboard Lord Monotone, the game's antagonist's flagship, the Screeching Solo. Within these rooms, players will have to traverse tougher and tougher obstacles as they attempt to navigate not only many different enemy types such as the Trumpet Troopers, some seriously ungroovy dudes who fill the dens with an ever-increasing amount of lethal lasers, but also a plethora of environmental hazards. The writer's favorite being flashing tiles, which will remind older gamers of classic disco dance floors. Laser Disco Defenders struts his way to the dance floor in late July this month. System Soft Alpha have recently announced that the latest title in their strategy adventure series will be coming not only to PlayStation 4, but to PlayStation Vita also this winter in Japan. Mo Niji Taizen 3 is going to be set in World War II and promises to combine both adventure and strategy as it mixes up System Soft Alpha's Daizen Ryaku series with Mo. Players will take control of weapons which are personified as girls and women called Steel Maidens. Sound interesting? Well, Momo Niji Taizen 3 is due out in Japan this winter, so save those pennies. During the 5PB Festival 2016, the publisher has gone into a bit of detail at some of the systems players can expect to be using when Plastic Memories launches in Japan later this year. The game's schedule mode is at the core of Plastic Memories and is the mode that players will be primarily concerning themselves with. The idea behind schedule mode is about the player creating memories with game's central heroine, Isla. Players will have 1 month to spend with Isla, and over the course of the month, they'll have over 60 events at their disposal to choose from and organize in order to create these memories. There will also be a petting mode, which will allow players to physically interact with Isla by performing touches and gestures via the PlayStation Vita's touchscreen. Isla herself will react and respond to the player's touches depending on what they do. Ah, yeah. Finally, dress mode was also detailed during the festival. Being able to choose the different outfits Isla wears appears to be more than just for cosmetic purposes. Players will also be able to choose specific dresses for specific events that they have created via the game's schedule mode. Which mode will you dig into first? Plastic Memories is due out in Japan October 13th.
A few days ago, D3 Publisher put up a teaser site for an idle game with a countdown clock running until July 3rd reveal. Well, the countdown timer has finished, and all has been revealed. The full title of the game is Idle Death Game TV, and it's set to release in Japan on October 20th of this year, fully compatible with PlayStation TV. Although there have been no trailers released yet in order to form a clearer idea of what style of game Idle Death Game TV will take, we can reveal that developer studio Witchcraft has described the game as a single-player, center-contested death game action-adventure. It has also come to light that Yami no Koei illustrator Mitawa Uda has been given the reins for the character design, and Shojiro Endo will be in charge of the writing and direction of the game. Thanks to Nihon Falcom, we now have more details on the nearly here Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana, including information on characters and battle. First up, we have two new characters to introduce, Sister Nia and Lit. Sister Nia is a nun from the Celestial Church, the religion of the Romun Empire. She is an exemplary nun with a kind heart, but the abundance of her religious piety is not common. She has a few characteristics that are slightly off. She believes everything happens according to God's will. For instance, she perceives the sinking boat and the drifter life on the Isle of Serene as trials given by God. Lehit is a young man with a timid and forlorn attitude. Instead, the doctor who was unable to board the ship due to circumstances, he takes the role of ship doctor. Even though he has a lot of knowledge and discernment, he lacks actual medical experience as he is only a medical student. We also have more information on some of the game's systems. As you take part in counterattack battles, you'll have the option to take on endless threats. Endless threats are a difficult counterattack battle which involve taking on large and powerful enemies you've encountered on the Isle of Serene, while will attack your base one after the other. The game will also feature various sub-dungeons that are not part of the main story. While exploring the isle, you can find these sub-dungeons and gain various rewards for completing them, such as adventurers' tools, or even possibly other castaways in hiding. Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana is set to release in Japan on July 21st. Bandai Namco has announced that they're bringing the game based on the Asterisk War light novel and anime in North America, with a surprise for importers in the cards as well. The Asterisk War, the Academy of City on the Water, Phoenix Festa, is coming to North America as AW Phoenix Festa, and it's bringing with it a physical Asian version of the game with Japanese language audio and English subtitles. Importers, check your wallets. Based on the light novel and anime, AW Phoenix Festa is set in the near future, not long after the disaster called the Inversia has destroyed many of the big cities on Earth. Looking to recover from this event, the Integrated Enterprise Foundation is formed, and in the wake of that, cities are reorganized. A city once called Rika becomes Asterisk, and is this city's 6 academies hold tournaments for youth called Festas. During these festas, the students of the various schools fight against each other to prove their mettle. You are put in the shoes of one of these students and will be tested as a person and as a fighter. Are you ready? The gameplay in AW Phoenix Festa meshes dating sim elements and combat, offering numerous endings and the ability to play as protagonist Ayota or an original character you create. It features relationships molded through battles and conversations with other characters, and it's very, very nearly ready for you to take it on. Coming to North American PSN July 26th, yes, later this month, AW Phoenix Festa is itching to put itself in your hands, with the Asian English physical version due out the very same day if digital isn't your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope to be reviewing that one,
Nice.
because I love the anime. Oh, yeah. Anyway, moving on. Home stretch here, people. In a surprise move, Axis Games has announced that they're bringing Tokyo Xanadu to North America. Who the hell saw that coming? I'll admit it, if somebody would ask me to bet that this game wouldn't hit Western Vitas, I'd have taken that bet, and I'd have lost. With Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus coming to PlayStation 4 as an enhanced port, I never thought we'd be getting the original Vita version in the West, but thankfully I was dead wrong. Tokyo Xanadu follows Ko Takisaka, a 17-year-old second-year high school student who also happens to be a badass. He and his friends do battle with an alternate world, using weapons known as soul devourers to take on labyrinths full of monsters. Sound like something up your alley? Announced during Anime Expo 2016, Axis Games will be bringing Tokyo Xanadu to North America during the first half of 2017. They'll be bringing the game both physically and digitally, so rest assured you'll be able to grab it however you please. As for Europe, we've got our ears open, but we haven't heard a whisper yet. And the last bit of news. Axis Games has announced a slew of new Otome localizations at Anime Expo 2016, and we've got the details on just which ones will be making the jump. First up, Axis Games have announced they'll be localizing Otome Games' Bad Apple Wars, Collar X Malice, and Period Cube, Torikago no Amadeus for the PlayStation Vita. All three localizations due out in 2017. Here's a quick recap of what each of the games is about. In Bad Apple Wars, you're Rinka, a girl caught in an accident on her first day of school. Instead of finding yourself dead, however, you wake up in Nevea Academy, given a chance to return to your life by being a good student. That's easier said than done, but of course you're welcome to give it a shot. In Collar X Malice, you play a female police officer in a dangerous, brutal version of Shinjuku. One night you're attacked and collared, poison inside. To get rid of the collar, you must work with former police officers to investigate the attacks going on in the city, trying to return yourself and your home to their former safe state. In Period Cube, Torikago no Amadeus, you play as a girl trying to find her missing brother. In order to do that, you've started playing the online RPG Alchemist Idia with your childhood friend Hiroya. Big mistake. Swallowed by the game, you wake up in a fantasy world, the only way to escape being to beat the game and everyone targeting you because of it. Also revealed is the localization of Code Realized Future Blessings, a fan disc with new routes, and that Axis is looking into a localization for Hakuoki Sweet School Life. That's 4 or 5 Otome titles coming our way and plenty of hours of gameplay to experience, especially if you're going for the true roots. Do you have it in you? I do. And that's the news.
Woohoo!
Boom! It's done.
Finally.
Yes, finally.
With all those issues we were having. But it's going to seem seamless for all the listeners. Yay!
Yeah.
Alright, what do we got, Kyle?
Alright, so we've got talking points for the week next. And you know where we're going with this, Tyler. Announced release games looking forward to from the week. Of those 29 things we mentioned, what looks good?
Like 2 things for me.
Holy shit, Tyler, come on.
I know. Tokyo Xanadu, definitely. Excited that that's coming. And Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. That's really it.
Well, at least you picked 2 good games.
That's
like,
true. That is true.
Yeah, so I've got a lot more than you anyway. First up, my Q Labyrinth of Death. Sucks that it's not coming to Australia and by association New Zealand, but we're getting it over here, so you guys import it. Sounds like it's going to be good. I'm in for it, so yeah. Also, Mary Skelter. I keep saying this, but that needs to be localized. Every time I hear about it, it just sounds more badass and kind of pervy. Licking blood off each other. But anyway, I'd like to play it. Also, I'm kind of interested in Berserk, even though I never watched or paid attention to the anime and I think manga. It sounds interesting, and even though it's a warrior-style Musu game, I might be in for that. I don't know. I got my eyes on it. Also, what else we got here? I know there's more. There's more. Sword Art Online Hollow Realization, of course, and Tokyo Xanadu, which I've been raving about forever, of course. Akiba's Beat, I'm interested in that. I don't know, it was weird, because when it was first announced, I was like, yeah, and then they kind of started revealing more information, I was like, and now I'm like, yeah, again, so it's reinvigorated my enthusiasm, let's put it that way. What else? Toukiden 2, I don't know, man, I've played the demo a couple times now, and I'm really liking it. Like, I kind of didn't really get into the first 2 that much. I didn't even play the second one, and I haven't finished the first one. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I might be in for that one, so got my eye on that one, too. What else? That Idle Death game. People are saying it's kind of like Danganronpa somehow. I don't really get that, but if it's anything like Danganronpa, I'll be in, and they should bring it over here. Um, that AW Phoenix Festa game, I've been kind of eyeing that since it was announced. I definitely didn't think it was going to get localized, so big props to Axis for that. And yeah, I want. And lastly, all those Atome titles. I know Atome means for women, but I'm down with romance games, so bring them on.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about Tokuden 2 on that list. I'm gonna add that to mine as well.
3 ain't bad. It's better
Yeah,
than 2.
and maybe that Akiba's Beat game because I do enjoy Akiba's Strip, but it's definitely not something that I'm like I need. So,
Yeah, I hear you.
all right, so yeah, there you go. There's some games. Let's go to talking points. We've got quite a bit here, and
Listener mail, you
yep, that's what I said.
mean? Sure it is.
All right, first up from Jeff at Prototype0115 on Twitter asks thoughts on Valkyrie Drive maybe coming west.
My thoughts on that have been the same as my thoughts since I heard it was coming to Japan. Bring it on. um, it's a I guess yeah, it is a little more lewd than Senran Kagura, so I'd be worried a little bit about censorship. But other than that, I'm definitely down for it to come west because I'd play that again in English.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Tally?
I need to finish Senran Kagura before I have any thoughts on other games like that.
Good plan. Good plan.
All right, we got two more questions from Jeff. He asks, "Are you interested in the Idle Death game TV?" It sounded like you were a little bit. You were
Well,
kind of
yeah,
talking
I
about
am. Depending on what it turns out actually to be, we don't have a ton of information at this point.
it. Right.
I'm definitely interested, especially if it's anything like Danganronpa.
Yeah, I'll have to wait for Kyle's opinion, and if he says it's like Danganronpa and I should get it, then I probably will get it. So
That's a good plan too.
saves my money and makes Kyle either spend his money or get a review copy and let me know how it is. So yeah. Next up from Jeff, he says thoughts on the Vita Twitch app. Was it worth the wait?
Not for me. Like I don't really give a shit about watching Twitch streams from my Vita. If I'm on my Vita, I'm playing Vita. I don't really do a lot of extra stuff other than remote play sometimes. So it's not that big of a deal to me. And plus, it's kind of an awkward thing because it raises that question everyone is now asking. Oh, can you stream PS Vita games through Twitch? Yeah, no, not like that. So it kind of created like an awkward bubble where all these people are asking this question even after repeatedly being told no. And yeah, not cool.
Yeah.
But for the people who want to watch, streams on their Vita and cuddle up in bed with their Vita and watch some, people playing video games, it's awesome. And I'm glad that we got it because a lot of our apps are going the way of the dinosaur, and it's nice to get something new.
Yeah. Yeah, Kyle pretty much summed it all up there. I'm definitely happy that we finally got it, and it seems to run pretty well. I already tried it and watched a stream for a little bit, and I was like, all right, it's a Twitch app, and it works. So, cool. All right. So, next up, we've got one from Denpa at Dark Dream Eater on Twitter, and they ask, have you thought of a discussion podcast with others? So, kind of funny, Blue Maxima, Vita Life, people like that.
Um, Go back to like podcast number 3 or something like that, and you'll see why we don't generally have other Vita people on. But as far as in general, we'd like to have more people on. Yes, definitely. Our issue is scheduling. Right now, it's all over the place. So to have somebody come in would kind of be either awkward or we'd have to record it at a different time than we record the podcast. So it's just extra work, and with all that's going on, we kind of haven't had time.
Exactly. What Kyle said.
Just referring to me for all your answers today,
It's
ain't you,
easy.
Tyler?
All right, next up from Mr. Brobot Brian at Mr. Brobot Brian, and he asks, "Which game are you looking forward to the most?"
Oh man, I have no idea. There's so much good stuff. Probably, ugh, I don't know. It's between Attack on Titan and Sword Art Online Hollow Realization for me.
Nice.
But there's a lot of stuff up there. Like Tokyo Xanadu is right up there, right, nice and close. I think the fact that it's farther out kind of puts it farther down because I don't want to get too excited before it's like almost here. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's my take. What about you, Tyler?
Attack on Titan. Easy. Don't even need to think about it.
Boom, there you go.
All right. Next up from LRG at Last Real Gamer on Twitter. He asks, which games do you want slash expect accept? Which games do you want slash?
I think it's expect.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
assuming. Expect to see treated by limited run games.
You know what? I'm not really sure. I don't keep too big a track of whether games are physical or not. So it's not like a big thing to me. I don't know. Whatever everyone else wants. How's that answer? um, yeah, I really can't think of anything. The only thing I can think of really that deserves a physical copy is Severed.
That'd be pretty
I
badass.
think that would be pretty badass to have a physical copy of Severed through limited run games. But other than that, I really can't think of anything.
Yeah, that's something that would be really awesome to see. I can't think of anything either. I mean, they seem to go after the indie games, smaller games, stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. So, um, yeah, any of those things. I'd really like to see them do like a collection or something with a ton of like top-rated indie games.
That'd be cool.
But that's probably a lot of work.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, yeah. Next up, I can't read what your name is, but I can read what your at is because it's in Japanese or some writing I can't read. But anyways, it's at Ethan Caithness. It's ETHANCAITHNESS. And they ask, English trophies released for uppers. It's not really a question, but
Yeah, I heard about that. I mentioned it in the Uppers trailers post that I posted, I think, yesterday. And that doesn't necessarily mean anything, so I don't tend to jump to conclusions with things like that. I've seen them come before and we get nothing. I've also seen like English games have Japanese trophies when there's no Japanese version of the game, so like I've seen some weird stuff. And I don't think that's necessarily an indicator, although it is, one of those things that make you look out for what's happening next. Because I think Valkyrie Drive and Uppers are games that would do well over here in the West and should come. So
yeah.
do it. I don't know. Yeah. What about you, Tyler? Uppers.
I have no idea. Center Rank Kagura. I still need to beat that.
Tyler's the Downers, but yeah.
Ah. Anyways, there you go. That's all the listener mail I've got, unless you got some more, Kyle.
I do not. Oh, actually, I do. You know what?
Wow.
We did get an email. All right, here we go. Here we go, Tyler.
All right.
Hello. I wanted to say congrats to the new writers working for the Vita Lounge, and I hope everyone is having a great summer so far. Lots of great stuff got announced, and is coming to the Vita, so everyone has something great to play. Just have a few questions that I hope you have some time to answer, so thanks in advance. Thank you for your time, and have a fantastic day, Robert Kellett. And are his questions. First up, what are your impressions on Grand Kingdom so far? I love the time I put into the game so far, and I think it's one of the better JRPGs released for the Vita this year. If you played it, what is your team for your main party class-wise?
I hope that's not his only question.
It's not.
All right, because I haven't played. Oh, I mean, I played it like 5 minutes, and then I stopped because I was not really into it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Grand Kingdom isn't really my kind of game either, so I haven't even played the demo. I don't know pretty much anything about it other than how it works. So yeah, I don't know. My impressions are I don't know.
Sorry there.
There you go. All right, moving on. Question number 2. How do you feel about recent announcements from the Anime Expo? So many games were announced, and personally excited about Tokyo Xanadu. Well, I can agree with that. What about you, Tyler?
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I'm ready for it. It's a game that Kyle's been bugging me about, and now that it's coming, we can all get like little schoolgirl screams.
Yeah, pretty much. I think everything they announced was something I was interested in, other than I think that Tokyo Twilight Ghost Hunters, blah 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 blah, long name, enhanced edition, got announced at Anime Expo, and I'm not really interested in that. So,
Yeah.
nah. The rest of it, I'd go for. If you want to send me copies, feel free.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Just give out your address to everyone, Kyle.
I'll have to get a PO box, Tyler.
You sure?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. What are you gonna
Anyway,
say?
moving on to question number 3, because there's 4 here. Number 3 is, how do you feel about Sony's recent efforts on the PlayStation Vita side of PlayStation Plus? I don't mind PSP games landing on the service personally, but for the past 2 or so months, every game they put out on PlayStation Plus I already own. I am hopeful it gets better, but what do you think about Vita's future on PlayStation Plus's services?
Um, the last game that came out, or the game that came out this week or this month, is a really awesome game. I also got it before it was free, but I got it free, so I can't complain. But I still think they're doing a decent job here and there. They have some months that I'm just like, ugh, what is this? But then they have a month that they drop a really good game, and I think that's just how it's going to be, and that goes for each system. PS4, PS3, you're going to get those months that are just like, I already have that game, or this game is just not something I care about. It's just part of what they do. If they can't please every single person every single month. So yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of games for them to go through on PlayStation Plus for the Vita that are really good. So I wouldn't be too worried. But if you are buying like every single game all the time, then maybe PlayStation Plus is not something for you. So, just a thought.
All right, then I guess this is where I jump in.
Yeah, jump in, man.
Um, my thoughts on the PlayStation Plus free offerings. They've been pretty poor lately, from my perspective. Now, that's not necessarily everybody's perspective, but for me, they have been. I think this is the only month that has actually released a game that I've been interested in, like the last at least 3 or 4, at all, like across any of the systems, and it's a Reshika, and I already have it. So, yeah, it's not that great for me. But my thing with PlayStation Plus is I don't use it for the free games. PlayStation Plus to me is for the discounts, and I get so much discounts for like stuff that's PlayStation Plus priced to $9.99 compared to $15.99 regular sale. Stuff like that, I would way more than make my money back. So for that, it's worth it to me, completely cutting out all the free games. That said, again, they've been crap lately, and I'm not a fan of the whole PSP game thing. So that's got to go.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, as much as there's still a lot of people playing PSP games, and a lot of people who didn't get PSP games. The people who bought a Vita, a lot of them, not all of them, not most of them, a lot of them had a PSP, and they played these games already when they first came out by buying them. So giving them to them now for free, they don't even want to download them. So like it's kind of a waste. Like, I mean, it pleases some people, but you're not even having your whole market as your demographic anymore because you're giving out games that have been out for years. I don't know. Just seems like a kind of a crazy thing to do, but that's my 2 cents.
Well, all right.
All right, so moving to the very last question here, number 4, and then we can, chill out. If you were to make your own retrospective series on a game franchise, what would it be? My favorite ones I've made so far include the Sonic retrospective and Ratchet retrospective, considering I love both series a lot. So look back at some sort of series or game that you love, I guess, what would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah, what like if somebody said to you, okay, do a write up on a game or a series that you loved looking back on it. So something that's obviously not super recent or, not a recent game. What would you pick?
Ah, man. I'd probably have to go with The Legend of Zelda, because that's like my favorite game of all time. And
All right,
I've beaten it a
that's a good
million
pick.
times, so I know like everything about it.
There you go.
Bam.
For me, I think one of the ones that I would be most apt to talk about would be Resident Evil, seeing as how I've played like almost every one of them like a million times. Um, yeah, and I think that'd be fun to write. So there you go, boom, done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well, thank you, sir, for your email. Is that all
yeah.
of it?
Thanks, Robert.
Perfect. All right. It's time to check this out, Kyle.
All right, check it out, Tyler.
All right. I had a game in mind and I forgot what it was. Hold on. Let me go back to the store. Aha. I think it's something you've already suggested, but I don't care. It's Dive Kick.
Yeah, it's been suggested.
So I'm going to suggest it again because it's only $1.99 if you have PlayStation Plus. Those discounts, Kyle.
That's a damn good price, Tyler.
Yeah.
Damn good.
$1.99. That's. You could.
I can't even buy a good cup of coffee for $1.99.
No, you cannot. So go get this game, have fun with some people, and laugh as you get kicked in the face and die.
Dive and kick and laugh and dive and kick again.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
That's it, right?
That's
We're out
it.
of here.
We are.
All right. Let's read that last part. If you've got listener mail or comments, contact us via media services at thevitalounge.net. You can find everything we talked about today at thevitalounge.net, including any mentioned news, reviews, featured articles, and store updates. We also have a community forum and a magazine. The magazine is available both digitally and in a physical copy via patreon.com/thevitalounge. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at the Vita Lounge. I'm at Mr. PSVita Reviews. Kyle is at Teflon Tactics. You can search the Vita Lounge on Facebook. Just search it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/loungeplay. Kyle's posting tons of videos up on there, so get up on it and subscribe. This podcast is also available on Google Play, iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, YouTube, and via direct download on the site. So go subscribe to those formats, rate us, and let us know how we're doing. That is it for the Vita Cast, episode 122. I'm tired.
That's what she said.
Good one, Kyle. Good one.